dear viewers, dear friends, today we have a conversation with Davor Pavuna. Davor, hello.
Hello, nice meeting you. Hello, everybody.
Davor, we know that you're in your daily life, you're a scientist, and you study a lot of interesting things, and particular physics. But could you please tell us more about yourself for our viewers?
Okay, I'm a professor of physics at Swiss Institute of Technology, or in French, École Polytechnique Fédérale in Lausanne, last 36 years. My specialty is quantum physics. I'm originally from Croatia, in former Yugoslavia, from Zagreb. I studied in England. I got married in France. My wife is French. I had laboratories in America, in Brookhaven, in Wisconsin. I worked all around the planet. I gave lectures even in Moscow, in Lomonosov, in Russian Academy, Chinese Academy, Korean Academy. So I'm well known in quantum physics and superconductivity. But my passion was from my youth is to study religious philosophies. So I studied Buddhism, Hinduism, of course, the Abraham religions, and I'm a Christian. So I can tell you that. So I have a very unique blending of spiritual understanding of world traditions and post-quantum physics, because I'm also president of Tesla World Foundation. So I can tell you how do we do free energy and how do we transform the whole planet. And this is basically my main line at the moment.
Great. Davor, then I have first question for you. As you studied also different religion traditions, could you please tell us what, we know that all prophets told about that God is one, about unity between people, that we should love each other. What could you please share your, in more details, what they told?
Okay, I will be very precise with you. We have three metaphysical approaches. Mm-hmm. The one we learned in the school in the last 100 years was basically secular. So in most schools in the West, and I think in Russia as well, of course, we learned that there is a Big Bang, and from Big Bang we developed the universe, and out of the universe we get finally water on the planet Earth some 4 billion years ago. Out of the water we get some organisms, we get monkeys, and out of the monkeys evolve humans, and here we are. The problem with this model is that now humans, we develop now robots, and soon robots will be more intelligent, like artificial intelligence, than we are. And we are going to have a species on the planet Earth, which are robotic, artificial intelligence, and even hybrid and cybers. And they will basically, according to that model, which is basically Darwinist Big Bang, they will eliminate humans. And that is just dry Darwinism. The other option which we have is a biblical extended Abraham story, which most of us were brought up in the West, where I want to go through all of it, but just instead of Big Bang, you have the Holy Trinity, God the Father, God the Spirit, and the God the Son. And you eventually come, in my tradition, to Jesus Christ, who is the Savior, and then you live basically pardon and love. That is basically the message of Jesus Christ, pardon and love. And if you read even Gandhi, you see that he uses that. The traditions that I did mention, like let's say extended Hinduism to me also has Buddhism. And I was in Buddha tree and I studied Buddhism. Buddhism is very close to fully grown Christianity. It looks that they have many gods in India, but they don't. They have one God with different facets. And if you study Krishna or Babaji or Kriya Yoga or Sai Baba, and I was with all of them basically, you see the unity also there. The main difference is that Buddha emphasizes the middle path, and only Theravada Buddhism emphasizes also love, like Jesus Christ does. But when you study all of those, and even because I lived also with communists and atheists, then you see that the problem is very simple. Most of the peoples on the planet, practically everyone would agree, don't do to the others which you don't want somebody to do it to yourself. So this reciprocity. So basically we have a common denominator that we don't do the other people which we don't to be done to ourselves. Mm-hmm. If we agree with that, we're okay. And so religious philosophy is not a problem. And if you wanted to go to science, which we will do, science has basically emerged out of religious philosophy. Science was not invented by some extraterrestrials. And for those who like New Age is just a combination of these two that I was saying. New Age celebrates a lot of Tesla. New Age celebrates a lot of consciousness, which is all fine, but you find all that in religious philosophy. So New Age is not something totally different. It's a mixture of religious philosophy and the most advanced post-quantum science. These are three models which people use right now.
Thank you, Davor. Thank you so much. And speaking about the conference Creative Society, what prophets dreamt of, and also about the project Creative Society in general. Yes, we know that now we are living in the consumer format of society, and that's the main our problem actually. And here we see which influence politics and religion has on science and on social life. Could you please comment on that also?
I would not say that it is politics necessarily, or even religion. The politics is a valid activity for humans like any other ones, and so is religion. Actually, it's a group of greedy evil behind it. You see, the planet Earth, and it's not a secret, if you scan the internet a little bit better, you will discover all of history is minority attacking majority, killing, raping women, and today is a day of women, so I like to talk about it. And it is not specifically this religion or that politics or this politics. All of them, whether it's imperialist capitalism or it is aggressive Bolshevism or evolved communism or any form of aggression through the history, were basically killing and exploiting people with one key dogma. And key dogma is there is not enough energy. Because there's not enough energy, then you have to kill the other guy. There's not enough food. There is not enough whatever, not enough women, not enough anything. So the main lie of what you call consumer society is that the evil controllers, like in the Orwellian books, 1984 or Animal Farm, they lie there is not enough energy. I won Tesla award in 2006. And Nikola Tesla, he's not the only one. Every physicist knows that. Everything is energy. I'm energy, you are energy. Oxygen in the air. The air is energy. Water is everything is energy. Whether you study Vedanta, Christianity, or quantum physics, or even ordinary physics, everything is energy and energy distribution. So it's a lie. It's a lie to make money through whatever, petrol, or even through the solar energy, or through whatever, nuclear energy, whatever. So the moment you remove the lie, and the lie is there is not enough, what? Enough energy. Excuse me, love is infinite. And energy is infinite because we are pretty certain now that the universe is, if not infinite, but so big our universe is that we have more than enough energy. So that lie has created this controlled domination of one person on the other. And through that, we introduce also money, because money enables you even more control and more exploitation. And don't take me wrong, I'm not going to sell here communism. All I want to say is we have that in physics. It's called equipartition of energy, because the first law of thermodynamics says everything is energy and it cannot be destroyed or created out of nothing. This is pure physics. And it's taught on every university on the planet Earth. First law of thermodynamics. Second tells you the direction of time, which we call increase of disorder entropy on water, and that defines it. And the important parameter in physics is equipartition of energy. When you have a system, energy will be equally partitioned for what we call degrees of freedom. Now, these things exist, we even teach them. So obviously we have the principles, we don't apply them. And why don't we apply them? Because those who manipulate the societies, above all through the media and through the control of money flow, not energy flow, they also have money flow, and then create the energy flow, they imposed those dogmas that are wrong scientifically theologically, spiritually, and certainly creatively.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Davor, so much for telling it now, because that's so important for people to know about it and to speak about it, not be afraid of it. Thank you so much for your
Well, it shouldn't be afraid. I mean, I don't know how many thousands of universities are on the planet Earth. And surprise, surprise, every single university on planet Earth teaches the same basic physics and basically same basic mathematics. I've checked that. And they all teach equipartition and energy, and that everything is energy. So it's afterwards that comes the hypnosis and manipulation. Also, as you said, through consumerism. But that is not in science, and that's not even in religion. It's not.
Davor, could you, and what if there wouldn't be any negative influence on science, and it could develop in a free way, of course, peaceful way? What peaks, what heights could it already achieve?
Every leader who is noble will tell you the same. If you spoke with Nikola Tesla or Albert Einstein, or let's say any of Russian physicists, I knew them very well, for example, Nobel Prize Ginsburg, or many others in India, you know, Chakraborty and so on. They will tell you we have energy, we can have a harmony. There's absolutely no reason why we wouldn't harmonize. Actually, in sociology, it is called autopoiesis. Autopoiesis is a society where you have a harmony. You can see autopoiesis when you see ducks flying, you see the birds flying. You will see that they make a formation which we copy with our aeroplanes to have a minimum resistance. You have the same principle in superconductivity, superfluidity, which I'm expert of in macroscopic quantum phenomena. So in nature, even if you look at our organism is a miracle, because you and I have roughly 10 billion atoms. Now your atoms, my atoms are perfect, and they obviously function, but look what I'm doing. Cuckoo, cuckoo, I can sing. That's a miracle. A human is a miracle. Oči čornije. I love you, my dear, right? Now, how can that be? How can 10 billion atoms, or if you like, 100,000 cells, which are incredibly complex and perfect? And so is the universe. The law of universe is totally perfect. Every physicist knows that. And energy distributes perfectly. So you can see there was an influence of some human ideas, and they are neither religious nor scientific. They're manipulation of profits. Who controls the energy controls also the money, or controls the money, controls the energy, and then controls the society. If he or she doesn't control, he has to kill others to control. And why they want to control? Surprisingly enough, to have more women, more children. You read the history of mankind. What was any Genghis Khan doing? Killing other people, conquering new lands, and then what? Raping women. All of the history of mankind, unfortunately, is basically killing men and raping women. I mean, it's horrible. You tell me some noble ideas. I mean, I love them, but that's most of the history of mankind is killing, killing, killing. The idea I have to dominate. And I have to dominate because I don't know the truth. And the truth is there's not enough, there is enough energy. And harmony is easy. And harmony is even easier now with little phones, because if we don't use our spiritual ability, we can coordinate with the telephones like you and me do now, the meeting like here. So it's not true. It's just the lie of those who want to dominate. And it is well documented and well known who they are. For example, even World Economic Forum, which is usually in Davos, and they're not stupid people, they're not ugly people, they're just people who domineer in politics, or they domineer in, for example, finances and so on. They say at the moment that the methods they have, they cannot control the planet, and they go for what they call gently depopulation, right? I would say no, we have to do a different approach. We have to do the approach of harmonizing the planet creatively. And that can be done through the science and the principle, which is ethics principle. Let's not do to the others which we don't to be done to ourselves. Surprisingly enough, these are the principle even of United Nations. but they're not applied, you see. They're manipulated.
Yes,
The World Health Organization, you will find the principles, but they do not apply them.
that's the feature of the consumer society, that we have
Yes.
everything on paper, but we do not have this in life. And human life is not valuable at all
Right.
in the consumer society. But Davor, how people can unite? Just now, there is the idea of creative society, and it unites people around the world, and millions of people. And how can we apply these eight foundations of the creative society and
Yep.
to build this harmonized world?
I would say, first of all, put again the prime principle: don't do to the other that you don't want to be done to yourself. You have to have the ethical principle first, because then people can use creativity differently. Once you have that, you have to use the best technology you have, and you have internet. The main difference in 2021, which is right now, is compared to 50 years backwards or so, that now young people of the future have internet. But don't use those that are big companies. I have nothing personally against Google or Facebook or Microsoft or any of the big companies. But in reality, they are now so big and so powerful that they control a lot of data and information. So my advice is go to the forums that are new, create new one, create a new, instead of Facebook, create a freedom. You have brilliant young people who can create these facilities. You can use a different messaging platform. I won't even mention those that exist. You can pick a totally new one. So create new platforms on the internet. And believe it or not, even Tim Berners-Lee is the man who invented the internet here in Geneva. He even wants to create internet number 2, because internet number 1 is too much domineered again by consumer forces and by some big companies. So my advice is agree on spiritual, ethical principle. Human life is important. It is sacred, and do not kill another. Love one the other. Second principle, go to the free internet options and even create your own applications which are not controlled by big companies. And you can do that. It can be done. Once when you have that, build up the community, and the community that will agree with those principles and go against consumerism. And I can tell you it will work, because I know young people, for example, in California, who are friends of my former students, they don't buy anything that was made by any big company. So whenever you have something says, this company made that, this company made that, they don't buy. They go against branding. The moment you ignore branding, the moment you ignore consumerism, that moment they start dying. So instead of consumer companies domineering predators, those who don't want to get rid of us, we should get rid of them, because they see the planet Earth as a big jungle into which they can put their products. And that's not a wrong model. That's what they do very successfully, okay? Particularly to live in the big cities, impose all sorts of rules and God knows what. Society, civilization is basically consumerism. You buy this, you buy that, and they fight against it. And all they do at the end of the year, they look at the profits. And the Wall Street and similar places, they look at the profit. And equipartition of the energy in physics doesn't go for the profit. It says you can have equal partition. If somebody has more, why not? But we know also today, and we can even tell you why somebody plays soccer better than the other guy, why this guy says better basketball than the other guy. This can be done, measured. As you know, we have brilliant mathematicians occasionally. They are born. They love to serve to the mankind. So we don't have to have these principles that we have right now, which is consumerist domination. We can organize young people everywhere on the planet and put the forum, which you want to do, and that forum will work on those principles, and we will win. It will not win instantaneously, but we will win, because most people want that. They are tired of consumerism.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Most people are tired of consumerism, and most people are ready to act, ready to get united, to create
Particularly young people, and young people are majority of the planet.
Yes, yes. And also, speaking in the context of religions and not even religions, but prophets' words, could you please, Davor, say or tell, is this creative society which we are telling about based on those foundations, those principles, like humans' life, humans' freedom, safety,
Yeah.
transparency and openness of information, creative ideology, development of a personality, also justice and equality and self-governing, is those principles that society which prophets dreamed of?
Yes. Well, to be very precise, if you study the prophets, the oldest you find usually is in Hindu tradition in Vedanta, or if you read Bhagavad Gita. I will not mention now all the names because it's too complicated, but you can start, you have Krishna, you have all cities and whatever, and then you have also Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, and then you have modern Hindu prophets from Babaji to Sai Baba, and many others, and it's their tradition. If you go to Abraham religion, of course, you can talk Abraham, you can talk Moses, you can talk to, of course, Muhammad, you can talk about Jesus Christ. They are well documented, so I won't tell them here. The essence is that they have 10 recommendations, what people call commandments, how to organize society. And even Gandhi in India applied what is the Jesus evangile, as we call it in French, basically a New Testament. It says, pardon one another and love one another, which is a good principle. Surprisingly enough, even if you study advanced Marxism and communism, you can read Erich Fromm, for example, who is a philosopher, or many others. You can even read now an economist. It's called Piketty, Thomas Piketty, French guy who wrote Capitalism 21st Century. And again, you see that this minority gets to very high profits, while the most people get only poor. We have to apply those principles, what you would call those prophets. And these are universal. And they're so universal that they go with universal science. The universal science are obviously mathematics and physics. And physics in particular is totally universal, because you can trust me that speed of light defined here is certainly valid in our part of the universe. I would be very surprised that it's not valid in a different part of the universe. So to the best of my knowledge and my colleagues, universal knowledges of physics are definitely universal. And they are noble. They are not domineering. They are sharing. So if you link those and really messages of spiritual prophets and messages of most advanced quantum, post-quantum, and general physicists, they show the same picture. I never had a problem with my colleagues from Japan, Russia, or America, or Europe. No problem. We all agree.
Great. Great, thank you, Davor, for sharing. And one more, the last question. What would you like to share, to wish to our viewers, just, to bring your message to the world?
Well, my message is basically love in action, because the reason why, for example, Jesus Christ emphasizes pardon is because most of us are blocked by some family reasons or some other reasons. So let's be fair. Every human being on the planet Earth, and I was like that, so I know, has usually some blockage that can come from the mother or from the father or from the neighborhood. Don't do this, don't do that. So you first have to learn how to pardon yourself, that you accept yourself. You see, I'm Davor Pavuna. No, I'm not Niels Bohr, Albert Einstein. No, I'm not, Jesus Christ, nor I'm not Nikola Tesla. I'm Davor Pavuna, and that's fine. So you have to accept yourself. And then the moment you accept yourself and start loving yourself as you are, and then serve the others. So the greatest role of a human being is to serve with the ability. You see, I cannot run 100 meters in 10 seconds. I cannot play soccer as good, let's say, Messi in Barcelona or somebody. But I can do physics very well. I can sing, I can play, I can love you. And this is what I do. Now, if everybody applies that, and believe me, everywhere on the planet, teachers are good enough to see if you have a child who has a fantastic voice, or if a child who has a fantastic different ability, teachers see that. So we should help the others to become fantastic in whatever they do, singing, playing, mathematics, business, engineering, languages, whatever they want to do, women included. But we should serve one another in this loving paradigm. And the opening is, as I said before, it's love one another, but first pardon yourself. And love doesn't flow if you are blocked. You know, today is a day of women worldwide, and every woman will tell you, if she sees a man and the man is blocked, he cannot release love. Love is like a quantum fluid. It's everywhere and it flows freely. And you cannot confine love and you cannot put in the boxes. Love is just infinite, divine fluid. Actually, it's fully called agape. And when you release love, this is like releasing poetic energy everywhere. And love makes everyone happy. And you look into people's eyes, you share. Doesn't matter which language you speak. C'est très bien dire, c'est l'amour. Это очень хорошее говорить по-русски. Я te люблю. Kuku. In Hungarian, szeretlek. In German, die Liebe. Das ist so fantastisch, nicht wahr? Oh, dobbiamo parlare italiano. Me che l'amore, carissimi amici. Hey. So you see, it doesn't matter in which language you express love. It is there. It's a feeling. And if I would give a full lecture on all the options in post-quantum physics, you see, we communicate in many ways. But the fundamental aspect of us is this love, which is a spiritual gift which we all have. And when we liberate that, then we get many gifts in life. And because I was myself blocked when I was younger, I know that the blockage is inside. This is when you have to confess to yourself and to the nearest ones and say, well, I have some blockages. When you remove those and become yourself, your real self, loving, then you release love, and then, of course, the energy flows with you. And it goes with prophets, and it goes with physics, and it goes with love. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you, Davor. Yes, and really together, sharing this love with each other.
Yes.
We can build this world of love where people, even young people, they will not know what is injustice, what is aggression.
Right.
Very their childhood. They will know what is love and loving each other.
We agree. Yeah. And I think with this message, we can round it off and create our own internet channels to liberate all this beautiful love and freedom.
Yes. Yes, sure. Thank you so much. And thank you our viewers also for watching.
Thank you. My love and blessings to everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.